Hey guys, Sid's here. Welcome to yet another Hall of Fame interview. And here I'm with Diya Asrani. Diya has been in the coaching space for a while. And we actually met at a festival called the Game Changers Festival a few months ago. And after that, she has been through a huge series of transformation personally, learning different methods, modalities of getting online, getting activated. And in the last 60 days, she was able to achieve over 5.4 lakhs taking her coaching business online and also narrowing down her positioning, which is quite interesting. So, Dia, first of all, congratulations on these
Thank
results.
you.
You're in the
Thank you
Hall of
so
Fame.
much. Thank you
Yes.
so much.
So, it is, I know we had a little bit of a conversation before this interview, but tell us about that phase when we met at Game Changers Festival. Uh, what was your situation at that point or just before that? And what happened immediately after that?
Right. So basically, I've been in this training and coaching industry for quite some time now. So I
Mm,
started with image consulting. Okay,
mm,
that's a little background about what I used to do,
mm,
and but I was never given that whole perspective that
mm,
how do you market yourself. Okay, so I was always told that it's about the content, it's about how good you are and things like that. But when it
mm,
came to actually getting people to come to you, that was difficult. Though
mm.
I wouldn't dispute the fact that I did get a lot of trainings and coaching as well, but then
Yeah.
it was not fruitful. It was not
Mm,
something that was making me feel good. So I
mm,
said, okay, there is something that is missing. So I joined Game Changers Festival. That's when I met Rajiv and
mm,
Bhakti, and I spoke to them about it. And that's when it all started. And I didn't realize that. I did not
mm,
realize that at all, that it had all started, but it had started at that moment.
mm,
And that's when I opened my mind and I said that okay, I need to do something.
mm,
And I had like a very brief conversation with Rajiv and
mm.
Rajiv Talreja, and
Yeah.
he said that you need to go with a combination of Siddharth and Pooja. So I said,
Mm,
okay, so what does that mean? And he's like, digital and one-on-one. That's it. That's
mm,
all you have to do. See what happens, and then you come back to me. I said,
mm,
okay, let's see. Okay. So I said, okay, fine. I finished the Game Changers Festival. I was on my own. And the first thing I did was join your course,
mm,
Siddharth's course, your course. And I was like,
mm,
okay, this is something that sounds really, really cool
mm,
because it was first of all very easy to follow. Okay, which kudos to you. It has really made so much of an impact. And a lot of people are seeing differences as well, and
mm,
including me. I used to be very tech savvy. I mean, not so tech savvy. Now I'm
mm,
quite tech savvy
mm,
because of all this. And yeah, and then that's that whole building of systems, and starting there and then trying to find what are you specifically looking for, looking to doing. And all that kind of got me to understand that marketing, content marketing, is something that I really like. Okay,
mm.
I was not, maybe because I saw, okay, when I was giving out content to people, I wasn't realizing that I'm actually marketing myself.
Yes. Mm,
There was a whole thing there, and that was the gap which I wanted to fill.
mm,
And one thing which I realized through yours and through Pooja's coaching was amazing,
mm.
because it showed me the way in terms of one-on-one coaching, like how,
Yes.
you go and you actually make your client this special person in your life. And,
Mm,
how do you create that connection? So
yeah.
she has really taught me. That's also been a game changer. But the combination of both of you has really worked well for me, like really, really
Yeah.
well. And I continue doing it this way. And one more thing I would like to highlight in this case is because when I found my niche
Mm,
through your system, it was something that actually gave me the aha moment,
mm,
because that was the time I realized that as a personal branding coach, I need to be somebody who teaches inclusive leadership
yeah.
online,
Mm,
so digital leadership in a way. And there was a time I used to think I don't know this, I
mm.
don't know much of it. So what I did is, to make it inclusive, I involved three senses, my
Okay.
three senses. So obviously you cannot touch and you cannot smell, but you
Mm,
can hear, you can see, and you can speak. All right.
yes.
So I thought, okay, improve and put across these three senses. So make a triangle of your, your digital online presence. And that's what is my USP now. Okay. Like
Okay. Mm,
repurposing and, getting it all out there. So that was it. And then I said, okay, maybe it has to be podcast, which is audio, YouTube, which is your video, and Instagram, which is your image. So basically
yes.
you're targeting your audience, which is whatever your entrepreneurs, coaches, or trainers, but you're targeting people's interests as well. Like, okay, I'm interested in just looking at a picture. So I get the information. I'm interested in listening to somebody. I'll, join a podcast, or I'll, listen to a podcast. Or I will listen to, or I'll watch live videos or watch proper long form videos on YouTube. So I'll go to YouTube and I'll get the same information. So that was my whole thing. And I felt that was something I was really resonating with, especially when it came to, listening to you, listening to Pooja, listening to everybody. Like I have a few people, other people also I listen to. And I thought, okay, why not convert this and give this to people? And that's when it all started. So my whole strategy of design your presence, which Pooja got me in, which you got me in, I put it all together and I made a funnel. So the funnel was in such a way that you join a webinar, and from the webinar you get your sales. But people who were also not buying were getting in touch with me. So it was a nice way, a nice system to get people to get interested in what you're doing. And they came, and then they signed up, and it's been no looking back from there. It's just awesome.
Nice.
That's all.
So before this, you were doing more of one-to-one coaching, but you did not have a funnel, like a webinar funnel. So now it's webinar, you sell a product, and then you get them to coaching. Those people are really interested.
Yes.
So you have one layer before that.
I'm also going towards, doing, it's like how I actually got inspired with the whole niche designing 2.0, very honestly. Yeah. So I said, why not I make a 2.0 version of Design Your Presence? So I've, kind of moved forward, and I'm doing my courses again. And, I'm doing a lot of restructuring, and I'm trying to figure out what is the right way to go. And still, because after that, there is also something more to it. So I, want to just like kind of put that across in my 2.0 now. So I'm doing that as well. So it's nice.
So how comfortable were you in getting on video, getting on podcasts, and doing all this stuff, before coming to my course? Were you already okay with video work, or
no,
was it something
I wasn't. I was, actually, I was quite scared, to be honest, because I thought, videos means that you need like all this massive equipment and, these big cameras, and somebody come to shoot your, your video and all that. So I did not really think that I could do it myself. So that was something that I had to actually develop my confidence in videos and things like that. And what I did is I used to go for these 10-hour marathons in my office, just sit in my studio and keep shooting and seeing what is right. And I used to get exhausted, but then it used to make a difference.
Okay.
So I came up with this whole 10-day challenge for myself, wherein every day, instead of burning out, like, facing burnout or, trying to overdo things in a day, I did it every day, like in smaller chunks. That's how I kind of achieved results. By the 10th day, I could see there's some difference. And on the 10th day, I kind of started building my courses and,
Excellent. Was it a part of the hackathon process, or this is on your own?
This was before, but my hackathon process, when I became that I think it was in March, right? February, March, I had done my hackathon.
Yes.
That was amazing, because that actually got me to push forward in terms of finishing certain things. So I already had the skeleton ready, but then I had to kind of just put it across and refine it and redo it and do a lot of things that, would actually change it. And that's how I launched. Finally, after being a, freedom finisher. That's
excellent. Excellent.
Yeah.
Which month did you attend the Game Changers? The second one, right?
This was the first one, September.
The first one, September.
Yeah.
Okay, so September Game Changers Festival. Then you went through Pooja's system.
I went through Pooja's system in Jan.
In Jan.
You were before, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Then after that, you came into the hackathon immediately after you finished Pooja, possibly the Feb, March.
Yeah, around that time, yeah.
Yes. And now we are getting into August. So it is, just tell us about that phase. After you finished hackathon, you became a freedom finisher. So during that phase, you built all the technology on your own, or did you have teams?
I did it all by myself. Everything all by myself, because one thing is, what I've realized is the first thing that I realized that I could do things on my own was when I built my website. That was before Game Changers.
Okay.
But then I had not refined it. I just said, okay, let it just be there. If somebody wants my information, just take it. And that's it. The job is done. But after that, when it came to your system, when I followed the whole thing, through hackathon and, all, like when I kept on looking at your courses, and I've been through your courses at least 3 or 4 times. Okay. I'm being very honest. I'm just, because there were certain things that I did not understand first, because, sometimes you're like, okay, should I come back and, learn it again types?
Yeah.
So I did that, and that's what got me into, this whole thing. That's what
Okay.
got me into building my funnel and building my entire thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now you are able to independently manage your funnels, your
Yes.
website,
Yes.
your content, email system, webinar
Everything I do by
system.
myself right now.
Mm.
But very soon I plan to hire a few people, if not
Yeah.
now, but a little later. Maybe
Yes.
not like a team like that, but maybe two
Yeah.
or three people, four people, just to handle these few things, so I can concentrate on what I am really
Absolutely.
good at. Yeah.
You need that at a stage where a
Yeah.
lot of emails will start coming away. So definitely
Yes.
community manager is important. Have a
Yes.
video, like right now I have a video guy, so I just put it into a drive and he does the edit, and I have a content person also. So that allows me the time to focus on developing new things before which I used
Right.
to be doing. So I think, yeah, you
Yeah.
should do that as you are scaling up. So how did the money start coming in? That is a question that I think everyone will be interested to know. Like,
Yeah.
how did you convert, and at what
So,
pace did you build the
yeah.
momentum?
So it started with my webinars in December. Okay, November, December was the time I said, I just want to jump in. Let me just do what happened, what it takes. And that time I was charging 2,999 for my
Okay.
course. And I was getting like 10 people, 12 people buying my product. Then I took a break, my mistake. I took a break in Jan, and I,
Okay.
took the back seat because I was like, okay, this is overwhelming. I don't know what's happening. And then again, when after the hackathon, I came back, so I took that break. And then after the hackathon, I came back. I said, I need to do this, I need to do that. And, I need to figure it out, and I need to just get it done. So I
Yes.
started my webinars again. And surprisingly, my first webinar itself gave me about 20 people buying my product.
Excellent.
Okay.
Nice.
And this was first at 2,999. But then somebody told me, you're selling too less.
Yeah.
Because your courses are really good. Like, I had like my first few students who said that you're selling too less. Why are you doing this? So I increased it for 4,999 and I added a course.
Okay.
I said, okay, I'm feeling good that I'm giving more to people. And that's what actually gave me the breakthrough. Because when I actually increased my rate, that's when people saw me as this person who's really an expert in personal branding.
Yes.
And that led to it, one after the other. I was doing webinars, and there were students coming in at one point in time, which was not a very good thing for me because they were not really converting. But the good thing is I was sharing value. That was one thing that they really liked, and they came back and they said, we really like what you're doing and all that. But the people who converted, they started converting slowly and steadily. And finally, I had about 2 or 3 in a webinar, 4 in a webinar coming back to me and saying, I want to get coached by you.
Okay.
And that's what got me. And then I said, okay, putting all this together, it is Siddharth and Pooja who have worked, it's like a team. We have worked like a team, wherein there's one part of it and there's another part of it, and they're both working in hand.
Absolutely.
So that's when I started building things and all that. And then I got recognized as globally as the one of the top 10 branding coaches in the world.
Excellent.
For
Congrats on
2020.
that. Yes.
And this was on merit. This was on merit. This was not on anything of, how they say, right? You go and pay and get it. This was completely on merit. And it's just been exciting that, such a journey has led to this. So yeah.
Awesome.
And then I started, like, now it's like going on. I mean, of course, COVID has changed a few things, but it's going on, like it's happening. Yeah.
So you're doing one webinar or 2 webinars a week. Just walk us through your funnel. Like, how do you nurture them, and then how do you convert them into a high ticket one-to-one? Yeah.
So I actually tried a few things. First, I was doing 1 a week. Now I'm doing 1 in 2 weeks. So, I'm trying different things again.
Okay.
But what is actually taking most of my time is nurturing the people who have come into my system now.
Yes.
I've created a mastermind, and the mastermind's converted into a course. I've done all that. And right now I'm also reworking on my branding. So because I feel that, my branding now needs to be elevated a little more. So now I'm working on that. And so the funnel is as such that I get them in through Facebook ads, through Instagram, through, I actually word of mouth to some extent. I would say like a small percentage. A word of mouth also comes in, but a lot of my YouTube content is actually going out there, and people are,
Nice.
getting used to that. So I've got them through a lead generation, a lead magnet, a lead
Yes.
magnet thing called a PDF file, which is basically my 6-step strategy of design your presence. So to build a personal brand. So it has everything that you have taught me, your niche and your story and positioning and all that. And the online presence is what I told you, the triangle. So
The
that's what
triangle.
I'm, yeah,
Excellent.
that. And then I'm going on to the marketing, thoughtful marketing, and then finally reputation. So how do you build your reputation? So it's like a journey in itself that they see. And then if they like it, they get into my masterclass. So they click on it, they get into my masterclass, and they get into the whole sequence of ConvertKit, your
Yeah.
email sequence, the whole thing, automation. They do that, and then they come on board for my webinar. So my numbers do vary on and off, but
Yeah.
it's a good way, I feel, because it's, as you said, right, 80% value and 20% it has to be the rest of it. So
Yes.
80-20, the 80-20 rule, that's exactly what I'm following. So right now.
And at what stage do you upgrade them to the one-to-one coaching? After they bought the product, you bring them to a weekly call?
Usually now what is happening is, earlier from level 1, they were directly coming to my coaching. So it was
Yeah.
just because I was already giving them quite a lot of information in terms of the foundation. And then when it came to implementation and creation, like basically, implementing those few things into the process, into the whole thing, was what they needed the help. They need hand holding over there. So what I've done is, now the slight tweak I've done, I've changed from foundation, instead of making level 1 and level 2, I've added one part of my level 2 to level 1. So that it's like a bigger chunk, okay,
Yeah.
and I charge a little more, and then they go to my coaching as my main product.
Yes.
So so it can be either group coaching or it can be one-on-one. That's up to them. They want to take it up, whatever. I'm also going to give them an option for online courses little later on, so that
Excellent. Excellent.
they can choose whether they want to do the online course or they want to come for the coaching. That's up to them.
Okay.
So that's the kind of funnel that I'm like working on right now. Yeah.
Excellent. So the number was 5.4 lakhs in last 60 days.
Yes.
And so the run rate is what, around 2.53 lakhs per month right now,
Yeah. Yeah.
including this. And
Yeah.
how has your routine changed? Like, do you spend a lot of time in the one-to-one, or is it giving you more freedom now with your product line? Tell us about that. How have you structured your week and day to fit both these models?
So it's works both ways. So there was a time, actually the good side of lockdown has been more freedom, very honestly, because my clients are meeting me online. So I
Yes.
just have like 1 hour to talk to them, 1.5 hours to talk to them. I'm giving them all the value that they need, instead of
Yeah.
them coming here, me waiting, getting the whole thing set up and all that. And then already I think about 3-4 hours goes in that, like in
Okay.
that itself. So I just need the computer right now. So it's quite a balance that way, if you see. I mean, I made it in such a way that webinars don't take over my life. It's
Yeah.
just that, I have a balance. So there's a time when I'm focusing only on coaching. There's a time I'm focusing on webinars. So I have a balance of both. And now what I'm doing is, I'm also calling my webinars master classes, not
Yes.
webinars anymore. So because, it becomes more exclusive and all those things. So that's what I'm doing. So that's kind of created the balance in my life as well, wherein I have more time also with my family. I have more time with people around me. At the
Yeah.
same time, I have a lot of time to work on the back end of my business.
Got it.
So, that's the thing. So I wanted that. So yeah, it's happening.
Great, Diya. Great to know. Yeah, next question is an important question for many image consultants watching this. There are many branding coaches, personal branding coaches. So what advice would you give them if they had to start from the scratch and build something successful and something that can really add value and which is unique? So if you have to break it down to what are the top 3 things or top 5 things that they should keep in mind if they want to be successful in the digital coaching
In the
method?
digital.
Yes.
Okay. Number one is, I feel they should not analyze what they've already done. Okay. Because too much of, like how you say, analysis paralysis, you become paralyzed with how much you know. Okay. And then you forget that you have
Yeah.
to tell the people that you are doing this and you're good at it. That's one. Second thing is, I would really feel that it's not, because see, as image consultants, especially, we have this notion of looking good all the time. Okay, which I don't really believe in. I feel it's more about how you are as a person. Okay, so it has to be something on the lines of, it's not even like look good, feel good factor. It's about how you are as a person, how you portray yourself as a person. And that's one small aspect which got me to become a personal branding coach.
Okay.
That's second. The third thing is that when you are building a brand, it's like bringing up a baby. It's literally like that. So you are literally, you have to give your 100%, and you cannot have excuses that, I don't have the time. Okay, that I don't have the time to do this. You can, there are 24 hours in a day. I just feel that in those 24 hours, you can give 2 hours of your time to build something. It doesn't have to be, it can be anything. It can be, I mean, I know initially, I'm not going to lie, initially when you build a brand, it's going to take some time. It's going to take 3, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, sometimes a full day you'll take. I know that, I've been through it. But there are times wherein, you need to understand that you need to strike that balance. You need to have like, okay, these 2 hours I'm going to keep for myself. That's the thing. And the other thing which I would like to, talk about is marketing. Because I used to not like marketing, thinking I don't know how to market myself. Wherein I know it's a learnable skill, and it's something that anyone can learn and master. It just takes some time, takes some, understanding of learning continuously, and learning from coaches, learning from people who have been there, done that. So, you learn from them, you understand their perspective, you kind of weave it into your perspective, and it becomes more meaningful when you're sharing your content in the right way and you're trying to include people in the right sense. So that's my few points.
Fantastic. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. And all of you, I hope you noted that, especially if you're watching this and if you're a image consultant or a personal branding coach, those are the steps to keep in mind. So Diya, congratulations once again for your results. And I think this has been a very inspiring interview where you shared your entire journey of how you're able to take different elements from different phases of your journey and integrating all of that into something unique. And now you're developing your own, you have your own triangle and you've got your formula, which is unique to you. And that's what makes it even more attractive for new people to, because the information is always going to be there. And there's a lot of topics that are always there. It's just about how you repackage that and bring in your own flavor, which is what you're doing phenomenally well.
And that's one thing which I've learned from you. I mean, that is one thing. And thanks to you, thanks to Pooja, thanks to Rajiv. Actually, Rajiv got me into, your system. I mean, because of him, I considered it, let's remove this whole thing of digital and not being tech savvy, and let's just get in, let's see what happens. So that is what actually got me, that got me to look at things differently, very honestly. And I would really like to thank you, especially for getting me out of this whole fear of digital, because I used to really not like sharing things online and all that. Now I've become like this vocal person who's like, oh, did you see Diya's story? Did you see this? Did you see that? And I'm like, okay, now it's not so bad after all. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. You've been really humble, and you're a great coach. You're a great mentor, and there's a lot to learn from you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Diya. So guys, all of you watching this on my YouTube channel, in the description, I've given a link to Diya's upcoming masterclass. You can even download the PDF, just go check it out and attend her program. And if you want to get into this bandwagon of the Internet Lifestyle Hub, this community, which is a crazy little community that's there to change the world, and change the whole education employment system by building the next breed of digital teachers, go to sids.co/formula. There's a link in the description. Watch my 45-minute orientation and get on board. And I think this is the best thing that you can do for yourself if you want to step into your power and lead in the online space. So Diya, if you had to break down all your years of learning, you've probably gone through so many hours of programs. And I normally ask this question at the end, if you had to break it down to one success principle that you live by and you'll continue to live by for the rest of your life, that's really helped you the most, what will be that one success principle that you want to share?
So if you're passionate about something, if you really feel that you're driven to make a difference, just take the leap, just jump. I jumped, I did it, and it worked.
Fantastic. Leap of faith. Go for it. Yes. Thank you, Diya. And wish you all the best. Next interview, when you hit that 1 crore mark, I'm looking forward to that. Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye-bye.